Gang. Hello, hello, hello. I think that might have been my longest Moon Gang entry ever. We're always going for records here. Always going for records. Hello, hello, hello. Let's get ready. Let's get in this NASA space station. Make sure we're all set up how we like it. We got my notes, got my pencils, got my duck headband. It's going to be a day and a half, folks. A day and a half. Hello, hello, apes. It's a day, which means it's a good day to be an ape. Any day of the week. Doesn't really matter, but it is a particularly nice Friday, September 3rd. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning to all. Well, depending on where you are, it might be your afternoon, evening, night. I don't know, but I hope you're having a good one. Very, very quick, I guess I'll remind you throughout the day about this. Do not forget that on Monday, market close. We are on a 3-day weekend. Instead of 48 hours, you have 72 hours to kick back, relax, unwind, at least in terms of the markets. Maybe you have to go to work on Monday. I don't know, but I'll be working over the weekend. We'll be doing some fun. I don't know, maybe on Twitch we'll be playing some Assassin's Creed and saving Egypt or chart review. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff we can do, but the market will be closed on Monday in observation of Labor Day. And I do want to talk a bit more about that as it relates to kind of some recent craziness we've seen actually with AMC and what we saw on Memorial Day. And I'm sure you've been hearing all about that. But overall, yeah. You shut Chad down yesterday. Yeah, I mean, I had fun. I mean, of course, when it comes to CNBC, like I'm naturally on my back heel a little bit just because of how things have previously played out with Trey. So like I was kind of ready, and like you can kind of see it in my face. So if you missed the interview, I was on with Melissa Lee. Arguing for the 8 position, and that video is on the Kohrs Clips channel if you haven't checked it out yet, but you could see that interview there. Actually, let me see if I could find it really quick for you. So I was like, all right, like let's see how this goes, and I was ready. I was like, all right, like of course they like approach it as if it's gonna be like all a-okay and nothing's gonna happen, and in it, here's a video on the Kohrs Clips channel, so check that out. But what was funny is I was like, all right, they're gonna do something. They're going to do something. And when I was talking with Melissa, another person cut in, which like, I don't know if you could see it in my face or not, but like that was not a prepared thing. I was like, oh, here we go. I was like,
oh, brother, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
So I was ready for it, and it didn't really get like, I guess, as like combative. It wasn't really like a debate. That wasn't how it was structured or anything, but I had a fun time. I thought it was well. I was happy with it, and I hope I guess captured your voice. Obviously that's always like one of my biggest concerns is like I recognize that I'm not just saying what I think as Matt Kohrs. I like have gotten to this position where sometimes my voice is lent to the voice of the ape community. So I always want to be like, okay, like, is this like a Matt thought? Is this an ape community thought? And I'm always trying to like, I guess, represent you guys. And with that, also remember, whenever you guys are engaging on social media, you in a certain way are still representing the community. And I think everyone just being an adult and a human, it's funny. Like, obviously there's jokes in there, but also we all know where that line is, where it goes from a joke to being like kind of an inappropriate an attack on people. And even if we don't like them, even if they said stuff about us, this is just your friendly reminder. Remember, we should always be taking the high road, because whatever media is doing, whatever, you don't know what tweets and comments they're going to be taking from us. We want to try to be as unreproachable as possible. Remember, let's just, when you're expressing things, especially in the world, it's probably one of those things where just be careful. Like, you don't want that tweet to come up and be like, here's what the apes just said. So just remember that when they go low, we go high. Message retracted right off the bat. I like that. TD says FINRA rule now only allows one PDT flag removal for the life of the account. I actually always thought it was that. I didn't know that you could do more than one. I always thought it was one for the life of the account. I didn't know what before that. Was it like one per 90 days or per year or something? What else do we have going on? Great interview. Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys are so kind. All right, let's hop into kind of the setup for the day. Before we get into AMC and GME and the specific stocks, let's talk about the overall market. Right now, yesterday, ding, 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 the S&P 500 hit a new all-time high based on Fibonacci extension. I'm still targeting the high 455, just sub 456. What's kind of a market mover today is this August non-farm payrolls increase. So right here, 235,000 versus 720. So what's weird is unemployment did drop to the expected level of 5.2%, but the issue is job creation is way lower than estimates, which is weird because it's kind of a mixed bag, and it depends on this is where you have to dive into like what the data and the ratios and all that mean. So unemployment went to their expectations. It dropped slightly to 5.2, but the issue is new jobs and new job creation way below estimates. So might see some choppiness. This was all announced at 8:30 in the morning. This is when this came out. So feel free to dive into that, but that will be an impact on the market. And right now, even though the jobs were made, unemployment, I guess they're pricing that in. We have here, let me show you the 5-minute right here. This is exactly when it came out. Look at the announcement that they're like, hey, it was fine. And then we saw this like kind of abrupt sell-off all starting at 8:30. And that's just because of that announcement. So I just want everyone to be kind of up to date on what's going on in the overall market. Russell 2000, we like chatting about this because we know AMC is the biggest one, looking very, very strong. If it can hold this 229 level, I'm at first watching 232, but I'm really watching 233.5 as the next target. But strong momentum in the Russell 2000 small cap stocks. Once again, AMC is the biggest member of that. In terms of AMC, actually, before we do AMC and GME, as people are rolling in, let's start with some of these other ones that people have been talking about. So right now, excuse me, BBIG shot up. I don't like this. That's a little bit bearish, but then it fought back, and then it really fought back, and now a little bit more bearish. So it's in between right now. BBIG trying to make up which way it really wants to go. And to me, it's as simple as this. Is it going to break below 730 or break above 950? Those are my two watches on BBIG. If it does one of those, I might take a trade. But until then, we're just kind of patiently waiting. SPRT, I still think it looks weak. I'm not saying that the play's done. I'm just saying I think there's going to be a gap fill to the high from August 26th. We have this gap. It's almost filled, but not fully. $20 flat is where I would be interested to see if it bounced there. That's still my play on SPRT. I've been talking about it. I do not have an SPRT position. I've been in and out, and I've been playing it both ways, but I still strongly believe it is eventually headed back down to this gap fill, probably sooner rather than later. CRSR, we talked about this, not focusing on it too much. Just want a continuation. It's kind of a little bit of a chop right now. The other one that everyone has been talking about is Any looking very, very strong. And then this morning, very much gapping down. Now, just so everyone knows, I do have calls on Any, but I do have some time. So I want to see how it plays out. And I was really hoping that nothing crazy would happen today. So I had time to research it more in depth over the weekend. But this one, the metrics are there. It's highly shorted, high short interest, relatively lower float on the threshold list. So something's going on with the FTDs that should not be going on. Worthwhile to look into this Sphere 3D company, but the pre-market is not the most ideal pre-market. We're looking for hopefully a very quick bounce back, at least to this like $8.60-70 error. That's what I'm looking for on it, but brutal pre-market action thus far, but let's see how it all plays out. So now with all that being said, let's hop into the stars of the show, AMC and GME. So thus far today, GME, they've already borrowed 64,000 shares against it, puts the short interest at 12.16%, utilization 33.4, shares on loan 6.5 million. In terms of AMC, they've already borrowed $250,000 against it, already up short interest to 18%. So yesterday, the short interest in both the shares on loan and short interest went up, but the utilization actually went down. So what does that mean? How is that mathematically possible that the short interest and shares on loan go up, but utilization goes down? Just remember what utilization is. It's the amount of shares on loan divided by the total loanable shares. So if this went up, but the ratio went down, that tells you that the pool of shares, the total pool of shares people are willing to lend out to potentially go short, increased by a greater amount. This is that mismatch is not indicative of something illegal, illicit, nefarious going on in the background. It's more of like a mathematical sleight of hand of how this situation occurs. In terms of the charts, let's go to the daily. Let's check out GME. So GME exploded, bull pennant, lower highs, higher lows. We got the breakout. It held and then held and then held. Right here, we kind of had a do nothing day really yesterday. It sold off and then buyers bought it right back up pretty much by close. So we just want this to hold and we want it to continue. So really the first watch out of the gate is just yesterday's high, 214.80. Let me mark that out. The first watch of the day is for GME to get above 214.80 cents, break yesterday's high, and then follow the momentum back up to 225. After that, I'm watching 240. We have very nice support at 208 and extremely nice support at 200. In terms of AMC, a little bit of a different situation, still focusing on the cup and handle. And yesterday during stream, we were talking about some of the similarities in this 3-day period, August 25th, 26th, 27th, and then what that led to. We're seeing some overlapping similarities kind of recently. So we're hoping that that leads to kind of a push upward. Obviously, kind of similar to GME, we are watching yesterday's high to get above that and see if this is just a relative valley, a follow through, and would love that break above the mid 46s. Mid 46s, I'm then watching the low 48s, and then from there, I'm watching the low 50s. So first watch out of the gate, what is this? 44.90, and it's currently trading at 43.70, but let's see what the market open actually brings us on the day. With all that being said, I've already forgot to talk about crypto. Bitcoin and Ethereum looking very, very strong right now. These two are by definition leading the way. Yesterday, when Ethereum was already moving, I was calling out 4,000. I'm still calling out 4,000. There's money to be made in crypto. I express this on a daily basis, but I strongly believe, at least from my trading methodology, that crypto, I'm not actively trading it. I like to get in on dips. I like to buy it and I like to hold. Everything I've learned about crypto is the people who are like these crypto multimillionaires. It's people who get in early and they wait and they sit. It's not really like an active trading style thing. I'm sure there are people out there who have made a lot of money actively trading it. But honestly, between option stocks and futures, I don't have that much time to watch another thing to actively trade throughout the day. So this one I like to check on more of like at least once a day and see where it's going. And maybe I'll hone in on some charting over the weekend. But that's my methodology for crypto. Buy it on weakness, wait 1, 2, 3 decades, and either you're going to be super right or super wrong. A decade down the line, 20 years down the line, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're going to be nowhere close to these levels. Either we're going to be very right and we're going to be super rich, or it's going to be borderline zero and we're going to get it completely wrong. That's how I view it. I don't think it's going to be like, maybe it's going to be like a couple percent higher than 4,000 or a couple percent higher than 50,000. That's just not how I view it. Maybe it will be, but I would not bet on that at all. Anyway, crypto showing a lot of strength. If you want it, download Voyager, put in that code MATT21, MATT21. As soon as you trade $100 of any crypto out there, you'll get an extra $25 of Bitcoin as a bonus. And I guess while we're talking about it, don't forget to download Public while you're at it. Download Voyager, download Public. For Public, you just go to public.com/MattKohrs. You'll get up to $70 of free stock. No payment for order flow, no dark pools, no market maker. Send all of your trades directly to a lit exchange. Way better for our cause, and I think everyone should be doing it. I mean, it's also free. It's free trading. They don't have options trading. If you happen to be a big options trader, you're not going to be able to execute that on the Public platform, just so you know. And as you can see, before we get into it, we'll give them the official shout out in a bit, but today's stream is sponsored by Manscaped. If you go to manscaped.com/moongang, it's pinned to the top of chat. Let me just double check that. What is it? Yeah. Manscaped.com/moongang. You get 20% off and free shipping, but we'll talk about that more later on. All right, here we are. Now let's get into any of your questions. Message retracted. I like the mystery. Hey, Matt, Subaru guy again. Wondered what you think about VIH, high short interest play, volume picking up like crazy since yesterday. VIH. Whoa. Interesting action in the post market into the pre-market. Let's see what's going on with the volume here. No, I didn't want that. It is definitely waking up. Let's check out VIH. So I've seen slowly but surely more and more people talking about it. Did this page just freeze? Acquisition. Is this like a SPAC acquisition company? So it has a short interest of 37%, shares on loan of 6 million with a utilization of 95%. So that does mean it's going to be a lower float stock. So interesting opportunity if it can get above 1070. 1070 is kind of the line in the sand for this stock. So once again, I'm just going to throw that out there. 1070, this thing might get some legs, but we are on the daily basis seeing some volume start to pick up on it. Look at the volume yesterday. Notable increase in volume. The price action, I'm just watching this 1070 line. If it can get above that, you might have some opportunity all the way up to 1150 would be my first watch. Yeah, definitely 1150 would be the next important one after 1070. In terms of these, once again, to make it very clear, any SPRT, BBIG, BGFV, VIH, do I think they can make money on it? Yeah. Am I going to yell at you for making money on it? No, I'm going to applaud you. I want all of you watching to make money. I'm not going to sit here and be like, you can't trade that. That's crazy. But I still don't want anyone to group those with AMC or GME. Mainstream media will try to put all those together as a meme stock. And that's like the just umbrella term that they're going to use. Understand that you cannot, the value of the community of AMC, of GME is very, very different. And that's why I think it puts it AMC and GME as like tier one options. And then these other ones, like I said, any VIH, BBIG, CRSR, BGFE, all of those. You can make money, but I wouldn't be of that mindset of like, oh, I'm going to diamond hand this, because the diamond handing is more, in my mind at least, reasonable when you have community support. And that's why we're talking about these stocks 6 months later. There's a good chance on these ones, the other ones I listed, these tier 2 and tier 3 options, they're going to be hot for a week or two. You get in, you make your money, you get out. The way you've probably, if you're watching this, wired your brain for AMC and GME, diamond handing through everything, buying on all the dips, I am not at the level to say that I would even be comfortable doing that with these other ones. To me, they're active trades. You watch a risk, you watch a reward. Don't get too greedy with it. You get in, you get out, you take your tendies, and you move on. So with it, I'm not against anyone trading it. I would just say, please be a bit more careful about your methodology, and I wouldn't imply that your same mindset that people have been applying to AMC and GME. Can you look at TTCF? Charlie, Zip Charlie seems to like it. TTCF, Tattooed Chef. So that's another one I'm seeing some info about. It looks like it's trying to break out. It's at resistance right now. If it can keep going, then I would watch 26, and then I would watch 28, TTCF. All right, we are at what is the info on this one? Short interest of 35.5%, shares on loan 14 million, utilization 98%. So similar to VIH, where they're both starting to open the day up at resistance. If they get momentum and volume follow through, the volume is looking decent. VIH had a bigger relative volume spike compared to TTCF. The numbers are there, but once again, you cannot discount the value of the community surrounding AMC and GME. I would never, at this point at least, put any of those other ones on that same tier of AMC and GME. If you're in here, don't get greedy. TTCF to me is a bit more of a chase. It's very much chasing because it's already up 50% ever since August 19th, August 20th. So this one seems like a less viable opportunity just from a charting perspective. But even they're both a little chasing. So with that, if you want to chase, whatever. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but sometimes people just get excited. It's a Friday. Maybe you're trying to make some sangria money for the weekend. Whatever. It's up to you. You can trade how you want. With it, both of them are up. So when you're chasing like that, you're increasing your chance of being a bag holder, especially if you buy at resistance. So with it, if you like these, all of these, and you don't have a position yet, I would say why not let the market like build out a little bit the first couple minutes and see if you could find nice support? I wouldn't say, oh, okay, yeah, it's completely cool, like right as the market opens to hit that buy button and see if it rips. Like, you don't know. Like, maybe they just all get smacked at the start. Like, do not be a bag holder. When you get into a trade, and this is important, and I don't know if enough people think about this, when you look at a stock, your first question should not be, where could this go? Because you're kind of way too focused on the potential profits in the play. Your first question should be, how bad could this go against me? What is my risk? Do not wire yourself to be like, wow, VIH, look at what this thing has done. And like, I think there's too many people who are like all of a sudden looking at the high and they're like, this could run to 22. I could double up. No, what your question should be is being like, hang on, if this goes against me, how bad could it truly go against me? You should ask yourself that question and then look at the reward of the situation. Wire yourself that way. Trust me, you're going to want to focus way, way more on capital preservation than focusing on these like grand slam home run plays. Hey, Matt, what do you think about WDC and the probability of merging with Keo? I don't know about either of these companies. WDC. Western Digital. I don't know about the merger or the likelihood of the merger, but the stock seems a bit boring, just sideways trading, a little up, little down. Happy Labor Day weekend, Matt. See you on the moon. Shout out Joey Face. Are you concerned about any dilution with the shelf offering? So any dilution is gonna, like, you're gonna see at first a negative reaction to the stock. We've been through that with AMC. We've been through that with GME. It's always something to consider, and that's why I'm saying you can't get too greedy with it. That's why I'm saying these other plays to me are not diamond-handed plays where you hold through anything. You have to have a trading plan. What is your risk? What's your reward? Whenever those get hit, cool, get out. Please, people didn't buy because of the box office, so why would they sell because of it? I thought that was perfect. Love the interview. Hey, I appreciate that, Brian. Matt, I learned this morning that Fidelity will only let you enter a limit order 30% higher than the last trade. Is that the most brokerages? I've never really been doing it like that. It might be a common rule, but I mean, it's their brokerage, so they're going to set up how they want. Like, I don't think that's like the craziest thing. Check out your tweets. Amazon shorting AMZ, Bezos, Kenny bankrupting companies to take over Toys R Us and Blockbuster, YouTube. Wait, Amazon is shorting AMC? Michelle, I have not heard it. Like, Amazon's not a hedge fund. It doesn't take active trading positions. Amazon is shorting AMC for a buyout? I have not made, like, this is new news to me. Let me check this out. Seems a bit strange, though. Looks like it's being reported by somewhat of a sizable account. Hang on, I'm trying to find the info here. Wait, the one I just found is not a stock account. Or is it? I need to dive a bit more into this. This is news to me about Amazon shorting. How would Amazon take a stock position? FBRX, the chances of recovery, my break-even is 15. FBRX of a recovery. FBRX, your break even is 15.20. It looks, a huge gap down. Not looking that good. There might be a little bit of a bounce back, but some sort of news. This is why I don't like the pharmaceutical industries, because sometimes you have announcements like this. I guess it lost a drug or a test failed, and you get massive gap downs. This is, well, like a good example of why I hate trading the pharmaceutical industry. Explained on Super Song. It's false according to Fool. Okay, so some people are saying it was on Reddit. It has to be true. Yeah, I need to dive into it. It might be true. It might not be. I'll have to look into it just a little bit. Some people are saying that they messaged it to me. I don't see it, though, on Twitter. Mentions. Yeah. With it, I mean, I really don't know if this is true or not true, but it does have like a sense of FUD of people just trying to get scared out. Be like, oh, now we're battling against Amazon, like they're trying to screw us over. It does have a sense of FUD of something going on, but it might be true. It might not be true. I don't know. I need to look into it. I can't just like comment on something I don't know about. Thoughts on SKLZ and Sense. SKLZ has a daily hammer candle you were talking about, and Sense is forming a massive buy cup and daily. So Sense, it's another one that's in the biopharmaceutical industry that I don't like. Skills, it needs to get momentum going and get back above 14. I don't, these days where it gaps up and sells off, that's not a good sign. So I'd like to see it recover back up to that $14 level. Chased a runner on any yesterday, but did listen to the plan and stuck. Sold at 9. In at 9, sold at 11, took 20% profit, immediately bought more AMC. Thank you, Matt. Shout out. I love people who have these plans. Hey, Matt, can you look at Camber Energy, dark pool, 30 days, 69% company without debt? Think about long term. Thank you so much. It trading on a dark pool or not? Well, first of all, there's no way it traded 69% on a dark pool. It probably traded 69% off exchange, but off exchange trading is majority run by market makers, not by dark pools. CEI, I wouldn't trade it because it's a penny stock. How will the terrible jobs report impact the market today? Thus far, the market is shaking it off pretty nicely, going a little bit back down. But we hit a new all-time high yesterday. So the jobs report was bad, but the unemployment rate was as expected. It did drop, so it was a bit of a mixed bag. Why are you supporting the Twitter bot Will Mead? It's not a real person. Stop people. Follow this bot. So many people burned on any. It's not a play. That's your opinion. And how do you know it's not a real person? And why? What do you mean I'm supporting it? As in just reporting the news of like, hey, this account with a lot of followers talked about this stock. That's not supporting it. When trading options, if your trade is in the money, can you sell the contract to another trader or can only execute? You can sell it, but you don't even have to be in the money. You could sell it whenever you want. What's going on with any discussion about potential offering, which would mean AKA dilution? I went down the Reddit rabbit hole in regards to Amazon. I must say it drew me in. It was a good read, but I've always been a sucker for fiction. I need to go into it. Like it could totally be a thing. I don't know. I need to look into it. But even with it, is that going to change anything? With all this, with these people who have like the mind-blowing DD and all that, is it going to change anything about like the core of the situation of what's going on? For me, it's nice to know about this other stuff. And like, for example, today, a lot of people are talking about the that DTCC rule going in about increasing the margin requirements from whatever, like a huge increase for the members, which are clearing brokers, and then they'll most likely pass that on to their clients, the hedge funds. Does it change anything for us? That's always like, I think that's a good way to wire these discussions is, does it change anything? For me, the play can be summed up, have the shorts covered? No. Okay, well then I'm in it. Like all this other stuff I think is just fodder that people are like driving into to kind of like, I guess, feel that like conspiratorial thing. But if the Amazon is true or is not true, all these NSCC rules, DTCC rules, ask yourself, is it honestly going to change anything for you? Like, is that going to make you buy more, sell shares? Like, is it going to make you do anything? For me, no. Like, I'm just going to hold it. I'll buy at technical support, and then I'll hold it until the shorts cover. I still don't think you've answered the biggest question we've heard all year. Pirates? Today's my B-day. I hope we get some nice boom boom candles today. Shout out Richard. In your idea, how would it affect Amazon mother of all short squeezes if Amazon buys? It depends on the price that they buy it at. It depends on the valuation that they come in and buy it at. If it's high, that would help us a lot. If it's low, that would kind of screw us over. All right. Ding, ding, ding. The casino is open before an extended weekend. Best of luck to all on this Friday, September 3rd. Get after it. In my opinion, going into a long weekend, they're going to shake people out of their plays. Remember your plans and your convictions, not financial advice. You all do you. Shout out Wall Street Viking. Long story short, Jeff Bezos colluded with hedge funds to short competition into the ground. If Amazon bought these companies, antitrust suits would occur. Interesting. This Amazon buying AMC FUD needs to stop. It's simple. They cannot be a buyout with us voting and we own the shares. They would need to buy the shares from us. That's a whole nother interesting point. Yeah, like how would it happen when we know that there's not one single entity such as Wanda that has controlling vote? Right now, to my understanding, they would need us to vote because shareholders own a majority of the company. So and like I said, I am not up to the date on the finer details of this particular narrative. I need to dive into it. But off the bat, some of my spidey senses are already tingling about it, that it doesn't make the most sense to me. Burger King wants to buy McDonald's. Heard it on Reddit. Trust me, bro. Pirates. Amazon, Bain Capital, Citadel do bust outs on competition. Amazon identified its targets. Gets with Citadel, Bain, DE. Sure, Amazon captures market share. They would have to capture a lot of market share right now. And also, wait, why is it Bezos when Bezos is done with Amazon? Bezos has like left Amazon. He's now on to like Blue Origin. With it, I don't know. That sounds like something good for me. I'll dive into the DD over this weekend, and then I'll give you my opinion next week on all of that stuff. But with it, if it is or isn't true, does it change your thesis on what you're going to do today? Does it change your trading plan? If not, probably doesn't really matter that much. Amazon buying AMC is a story from May 2020 related. Yeah, some people have been like bringing up stories that like were cited back in 2018 and 2020. Like the Amazon news like was kind of old news. I don't know if anyone is I don't know if there's new news on that particular storyline about this Amazon thing. It seemed like most of the articles I saw about it were dated in 2018 and 2020. MMAT is ripping, people are saying. So is VIH. MMAT looking good. Congrats if you're in it. I have no MMAT position. I have no, what was the other one? VIH position, but that one was looking strong this morning as well. Where would be a good opportunity to buy ETH? Also thoughts on BBIG. So for ETH, I mean, probably back when I was first talking about it, like you want to buy on the dips, not like on the rips towards resistance. BBIG getting its teeth kicked in right now. BGFV bouncing back around on BGFV. BBIG looking weak to me. And I would watch the support. If it goes below 7, that's a big psychological level. That's not the best situation. But I think things could get kind of crazy below 650 and especially sub 6 on BBIG. MMAT. MMAT having a good day. MMAT is up 18%. But remember, we're only 5 minutes in. When you have runners like this, I mean, do what you want, but hitting the buy button right now is something that I personally believe is a very bad idea. You just don't know if this is going to be the high. We've seen too many of these things where it gets either pumped up or dumped right at market open, and then it does something opposite within like 15, 20, 30 minutes. Brambles, thank you. In 1979, Burger King, a smaller company, bought Burger Chef. Now Amazon, a smaller company, buys AMC. Check out Sears and the German market up 300%, had the same spike in January. All right, what else do we have going on? Autobots Unite, Amatron incoming. Have a great day. Shout out, Big Shop. What are your thoughts on GSAT and METX? I could write those down, but like no special thoughts off the top of my head. GSAT and METX. We could look those up when things are a bit more boring, but let's see how this the market opens on AMC, GME. AMC catching a bit of a bid, the push, the dump, and let's see if we could get this push back. I mean, this pattern is becoming wash, rinse, repeat for Amazon or for AMC. Now we're talking about Amazon too much. All right, let me see if I can find this. This is the Reddit page someone just sent to me about the Amazon thing. GameStop. Oh, what is this? GameStop is exposing the biggest financial crime in history, masterminded by someone you know. Hint: it's not Ken Griffin or Steve Cohen. This was written by Top Hereth, Hereth, and it's posted on Superstonk. Yeah, there's a lot in here. I need to dive into it to give it. I mean, it's DD. You got to dive into it. I can't just be like, I'm not going to just sit here and support everyone's confirmation bias. It might be completely accurate, might not be accurate at all. Right away, some of the things about the story are like making me a little bit questioning of what is going on. But let's see. Let's see. All right. ANY trying to hold on to 7. GME looking good at 212.50. AMC at almost 44. The current intraday high is 44.08. And the high from yesterday was 44.90. So that's the first level I really want to see it get above. Sweet. Guys, listen, Matt, don't chase. I got burned the last couple of days. Also, Matt, how would you go about setting up an algorithm? There's various ways to do it. The ways mine have done it, on TradeStation, they have their own in-house language called Easy Language, and I coded up on that. Other popular way to do it is you could write it in Python, and Interactive Brokers has their API exposed, and then you just code it how you want. Your buy criteria, your sell criteria, all that stuff. The DD is very compelling on Amazon. I put a link in the chat. This is a good start point to go down the rabbit hole. It's not just one person's DD. Yeah, I'm not inherently against it. I just want to look into it. What are your thoughts on the Pyth network? They use blockchain for stock data reporting. AMC and GME recent pricing has been interesting recently. I don't really, the Pyth network, they've even said it themselves like that this is just like an early stage project. I don't think it's accurate. I don't know where they're getting the prices from. Like, it's shrouded in a lot of mystery. It's not that clear. A lot of things going on there. All right. GME looking strong. GME. Let's see if it could get above its intraday high at 212, 213. It's at 212 right now. We are kind of watching that high 214 level. AMC showing strength. MMAT, look for this to bend back around 620-ish. Any shot up, got smoked. Let's see if this could come back around. But there we go, AMC. There we go, AMC. Okay. Getting close. All right. Next one is 44.90. We could just call it 45. AMC, GME looking good. Looking good. As far as the shorts for BBIG, have they gotten out? Also, how much money has Citadel lost since the start of the year on AMC and GME? No one knows how much money they've lost on AMC and GME in reference to Citadel. BBIG, SPRT, they still have shorts. but that doesn't mean anything really. It means, I suppose, that the play is alive if you want to look at it that way, but it does not mean that it has to go higher. SPRT, I'm telling you, I still think it's coming down to 20. That's my opinion. I might be right. I might be wrong. But I told you, if it goes below 26, I'm looking at the gap fill to 20, which was thus far it's down at 21. I still think it comes down to 20, even with its higher short interest. And because of that, I mean, it's a trade, folks. This is an active trade. SPRT, BBIG, all these ones, they're not this diamond-handed play that has the community support and we're going to be talking about it 6 months later. It's a very quick, maybe intraday, multi-day trade. Don't get greedy. You take your money and you move on. Sometimes you do have to read the community supporting the individual stocks to get a better idea of like how long they're still going to be a play for. So with it, if you make money on it, congrats. Seriously, I have no issue with people making money on the quick plays. Cool, you made money. Isn't that the goal of the stock market? But I do take a little bit of issue with people trying to say that they're the exact same thing as AMC and GME. As of now, I see no evidence of that whatsoever. All right, AMC just hit a new intraday high. Ding, 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 44.40. Sweet. And we're watching 44.90 as the target, which was the high from yesterday. GME pushing 214, and we're kind of watching that 215 level. GME, AMC having very, very good days. What else is moving? BBIG trying to bounce back. SPRT looking weak, in my opinion. We have BGFV showing a little bit of strength. Any you see over here on the right side of your screen looking a bit weak. How's IWM holding up today? A little bit of weakness with the jobs report. SPY kind of flat. How's the tech sector looking? Kind of flat, but showing a little bit of strength. Tesla, we were messing around with that yesterday. Tesla. Honestly, the interesting watches of today truly are AMC and GME, at least out of the gate. What about VIH? Even VIH is getting, truly, today, this Friday is a back to basics day. The exciting ones really are AMC and GME right now. For all apes making money for AMC, but I'm starting to get suspicious of all the sub $10 stocks with high short interest moving. Just be careful, don't gamble. Would it be right to say SPRT only needs around 3% of the AMC community support based on the float to have the same community support as AMC based on percentages? Thoughts? No. Because that's a little bit too basic of math, because you have to have enough community relative to the current shorts to overwhelm it. You have to have a community that supplies so much demand to overwhelm the supply. Thoughts on the BBIG proxy merger evaluation, $5 billion? That's a 38 share if I'm not mistaken. I don't have any special, BBIG and those, I still look at it as an active trade where I watch support, pay attention to resistance, but I'm not going to be looking for, those ones, it is good. BBIG, especially how do you say it? Lomotif, that's a social media thing that they're trying to acquire. They're also somewhat in the world, I believe, of this kind of NFT. So right there, that's some exciting stuff. The way we see TCAT running. BBIG is there, but the chart does not lie. So even if you, in your own mind, you're like, hang on, this is a catalyst, this is great fundamentals. If the chart's not showing it, why I'm more of a chart technician and why I care about that more is because that's the true scoreboard. You might be like, hang on, this is fundamentally overvalued, undervalued. They're doing this catalyst, this acquisition. In the end, if the market doesn't care about it, it doesn't care about it. Or if it cares about it too much, it still cares about it too much. Because at the end of the day, what we do is trade on the price. You get in at a certain price and hopefully you get out at a higher price. So the theories and the DD, all that is great, and it might give you a little bit more conviction and give you an idea of where things could trend, especially if you're finding DD early before everyone else. That could really, really help you. But in general, this BBIG thing, everyone knows about it already. So that's not breaking news. And right now it's holding up. It got sold off and it's fighting back. I'm not inherently against it. It's just, I'm telling you, everyone, no matter what the trade is, Pay attention to support, pay attention to resistance, pay attention to your areas of supply, pay attention to your areas of demand. But I mean, today, the exciting ones, we're back to basics, folks, right here. AMC's looking great. GME's looking great. It's a good Friday. It's a good Friday. KPLT, I like it as a gap fill play. Thanks for your thoughts. Just want to say you nailed it on the Fox interview yesterday. I appreciate that. It was a CNBC interview. I was hanging out with Melissa Lee, but I appreciate the kind words. Why do you shoot down possible squeezes that could help funds? Chris, what are you talking about? Shooting it down? I've been in those. I've actively traded them. I made money on them. I'm not shooting it down. I'm just saying you cannot think of this as like some magical short squeeze that's somehow in the league of AMC and GME. I just don't buy it. Do I think they are good active trades where you can make some money? Yeah, of course. I mean, I publicly announced that I made a killing on SPRT. Okay. And then I locked it in. It's one thing to make money. It's a whole different thing to actually lock it in and have that money in your account. And you know what I did with it? Actually, on that particular buy, I bought some GameStop with it. Like from that money, and I think I actually even got some AMC calls. So I got some AMC calls and GameStop shares with my SPRT gains. Sweet. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm not shooting it down. I'm saying be realistic. Be like, understand what your risk and your reward is. You can't, with the excitement of these other things, and maybe it's because I haven't articulated myself clearly enough, these other plays in my mind are no way the same thing as like, oh, we're just going to diamond hand it till this thing squeezes to the moon. They might not squeeze. You cannot undervalue the size of the community and the support of the community that AMC and GME have. And truly, they are second to none. Do BBIG, any SPRT, do they all have communities? Yes, but I think that they're more fickle communities, and all of a sudden, if they drop more, you're going to see the community disappear. If AMC and GME were to drop a little bit today, the community is going absolutely nowhere, and that's very, very important for everyone to understand in these plays. If these other plays show weakness, no one's going to talk about them again. In the scenario that SPRT were to drop to say like $15 today and then shows a little bit more weakness next week, we would never hear anyone really talk about SPRT until it starts moving again. On the flip side, AMC and GME, if they were to drop today, people are still going to be talking about it all weekend long, all week next week. And that, to me, is one of the biggest parts of the thesis of why I'm so bullish and apish on AMC and GME, is because I think the community is so incredibly unwavering, while those other communities have not really shown that to me yet. What are your thoughts on zombie stocks rising from the Grays series for one? I would still... zombie or not, I mean, it's just, if it's showing momentum in technicals, I think that could be something interesting. You should watch Trey's video from yesterday's Zones of Supply and Demand. Great way to see the smart money is going ahead of the plays. Yeah, so I haven't seen that video, but Zones of Supply, Zones of Demand, I'm assuming it's similar to what we talk about of just levels of support, levels of resistance. Support is a level of demand. Resistance is a level of supply. And it's just a price level you either trade down to, bounce around at, or like mess around at and then bounce off of, or demand, or that would be demand. Supply would be the opposite. You trade up to it, you mess around there, and then it ends up getting rejected. But that's why we talk about these key levels. It's not really an exact price level. Like sometimes I'll map it out, but very much so. And I haven't seen this video, so maybe he's talking about something else, but I would assume it's in that exact same realm of whenever all day I'm talking about supply resistance right here. Early this morning, we saw a level of resistance, aka a level of supply, and that's why it got rejected, and that's why it messed around here a little bit, continued to mess around, and then we actually overtook this level of supply with enough demand, and now we're pushing up to the next one at 44.90. Those words are kind of interchangeable. There's a little bit, like if you want to get like really deep into it in factual, there is a little bit of a difference, but overall, you're seeing the regions, the price levels that the stock reacts to. Where are the buyers at? Where are the sellers at? But if he talked about something completely different, I haven't seen the video, so I don't know. I'm just throwing out my thought. Please, any thoughts on neuro? We could throw that on the list. Neuro. Flirting with Hood price. I don't even have Hood up anymore. Got tired of watching that. I still think Hood goes down, especially with this payment for order flow crap. AMC currently at 44.06. It recently hit 44.50. Still watching 44.90. Any is flat right now. BBIG is at 750. Any is at 7. GameStop bounced off of, what is this, 210 all the way up to 216, and now we're at this level, the resistance level, aka level of supply. Got smacked, came back down, dancing around at the level of supply, broke out, and now we're seeing if this level of supply turns into a level of demand. No, specifically different from support and resistance. He goes out of his way to distinguish with 6 examples of random stocks he traded and made money on all of them. Okay, I mean, I'll have to watch it. I haven't seen it. It strikes me as a little odd of how a level of supply would not be support. That's like what, or supply would not be a level of resistance, especially in terms of technicals. But I guess I can't comment on it if I haven't seen the video. Microvision waking up from the dead, up 1,618 today, rolling into AMC on the next dip. Shout out GTA Nation. Had been watching LCID for a while, bought this dip yesterday, and it's ripping. Always appreciate your insight and honesty. Apes together strong. Shout out Brent. ARX crypto looking strong. Check it out. Thanks for everything, Matt. Mad love and prayers from Tennessee. Shout out Old Fashioned Truth. So the whole September 3rd regulation hype was just another nothing burger for the mother of all short squeezes. I mean, a lot of the regulation things are, people are setting up expectations way too high for what they do or don't become. It all comes down that we just have to watch the chart. I don't think we're going to have like one regulation that's all of a sudden the magic bullet and then that gives us the squeeze. I don't think that's how it's going to work whatsoever. I think it all comes down to the technicals and breaking out of the key levels. For example, huge breakout, 46.50-ish, and then we have another one at the low 48s. From there, we're watching 50 to 53-ish, and then we're watching 65, then we're watching 72. I think it's going to be much more of the excitement and the energy as we get over technical levels, and we'll see a very quick, I guess, follow through on all of that. A very quick follow through on all that, where you see the volume pick up more, you see the bars get bigger and bigger. You'll see, like, you can almost like practically see and feel the energy in the chart. It was definitely complex. Had to watch it 10 times to get it. Yeah, I mean, I'll check it out this weekend. But just in general, if you look things up, it's very, very common to use a level of demand as, like, the terminology is pretty much it's the same as support. Or if you have a level of supply, another thing you could call that is resistance. So I'm curious how he said that there, like, it's specifically different. I'm curious. I'll have to check it out. Got more AMC, but on the other hand, thoughts on Sava. All right, well, Any's doing nothing, so we don't need that. Sava's looking weak on the intraday. And it's looking weak on the daily as well. I'm not really liking what I'm seeing in Sava. All right, AMC strong, moving up to this level of 44.90. BTCM, not the craziest fan of BTCM. I'd rather just play crypto directly, like just buy some Bitcoin, buy some Ethereum, something like that. All right, let's get going on AMC, showing some serious strength right now. All right. Man, Any is not looking the best. SPRT at 22. BBIG coming back around. BGFB. Let's do these at the 3 minute. All right, perfect. All right, AMC, let's get going on the day. Current intraday high is 44.56. I noticed a trend across YouTube for there being a ton of emotional investors in AMC. We need to stop worrying about the smoke and focus on the fire. Wanting to diversify a bit, can you suggest some other stocks besides crypto you think have great long-term potential so I can do some of my own DD? Yeah, I think it's worthwhile to look into Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Roku, Nvidia, AMD, Disney. Those are all ones that I think it's cool to start off with. You're going to find some other ones as you're looking into those. You could check out Shopify. You could check out, there's a host of great stocks. Have you peeped any odd volume in AMC options market that's setting up for possible gamma? We just know that there's quite a bit of interest for today at 50. That'd be interesting. A little bit at 40. Well, decent at 45 for today. And we're getting close to that level, as you see. AMC is on the move right now. 50s are interesting. 50s, yeah. And then it depends what week you're talking about, but if you're talking about the September monthlies, 45, 50, 55, 60, 70 all have a good, decent amount of open interest right now. All right. Let's see how this is going. AMC just hit 44.80. Remember, I am watching yesterday's high at 44.90, and then from there we can watch 45.71. So it goes 44.90, then 45 flat, and then 45.71. Matt, go look at any release from today. They are buying back stock at 8.50. Or am I reading this wrong? All right, I can check that out in a bit. Do I have any thoughts on Lucid? How's Lucid doing today? Lucid had that gap down when the insiders were released, and then it just became a very nice gap fill play. I think this thing continues to cruise up to whatever this low is, 1992. So obviously it was ideal to get in right away, but just classic gap fill play. SHLDQ, why it's rocketing. I think something about an acquisition or a takeover or something moving, but it's not trading on a normal market. That's why it has 5 letters. So I don't like trading on the gray market. Someone said he's reading it wrong. It's an offering at 8.50, and that's in reference to any. All right. Some people talking about Clove not doing really much today. Clove is up 3%. I don't know. Clove, it might be a play, but it's pretty muted today. I mean, look at it on the daily. It's just not going anywhere. Clove looks like it was rejected at 950. So you'd want to break out above 950 or watch for a breakdown of 830 would be the levels of action, I would say. All right, what else do we have? So any trying to wake up, and then Clove. What else do we have? Let's check in on the market really quick. IWM trying to show some strength, and now it's trying to decide what it wants to do. S&P 500 trying to, I suppose, get out of this wedge. S&P might be interesting right here, actually. One-time code. We are in the mainframe. We are in. All right, AMC holding up pretty nicely. Still watching 44.90, I suppose. All right. Shoot. All right. Sweet, sweet, sweet. S&P 500 looking good. Any trying to fight its way back. Watch $7.10 on any. But right now, AMC is looking pretty interesting, showing quite a bit of strength. Quite a bit of strength. MACD is looking solid. Let's actually drop that. Let's see if the RSI is overextended. All right. GME, you're watching that 215 line. Oops, sorry. GME, we're kind of watching this. GME's current intraday high is 216.27. GME flat on the day. AMC up by 0.2%. All right, we don't need this. CRSR hit 100% utilization today, and cost to borrow has sharply risen since 820 on Ortex. Thoughts? Thanks for all you do. Yeah, I mean, those things go commonly hand in hand when your utilization goes up. But just because of that, I mean, I need to repeat this. Too many people are looking for a high short interest play. They look at the high short interest, they look at the utilization, and they're like, hey, this has to move. It doesn't have to move. You need the price action to follow for the pressure to actually be put on the shorts. Can you look at a possible attempt for it at a technical breakout on SPRT at the 1 hour? Let's do this. SPRT on the 1 hour. No. Unless, wait, are you watching? Yeah, maybe. If you're watching this downtrend, if it breaks, so you could watch that roughly if it can get, if it could recapture 24 and hold 24. I think that's a notable if though for SPRT at this point, because that $20 region seems to be acting as a magnet. All right. KPLT. KPLT, it's not a short squeeze play to me. KPLT to me is more of just a gap fill up to 930. So I like it for that. I do think the chart looks strong, but it's interesting because there's a gap below it, so that like kind of complicates it. But if it's holding up above 588, like if we get some volume above it, if it's holding above it very nicely, I still think it is a reasonable gap fill play. So what happened to margin calls at 10? Nothing's changed so far. I mean, this is what we've seen. We have all these people who are pumping these NSCC, DTCC, ICC, all those like rules, and like, this is it. This is the magic bullet. And this is what, just time number 1000, where people have built up way too many expectations for a rule to come through, and then nothing happens. What is this? What's this? A Xander. We're kicking out of Greg, our first keyboard warrior of the day. So what happens? It's those rules are not being made for AMC and GME specifically, folks. These rules that they're passing are market wide for a reason, and the fact that we know about them, there's a good chance that people are structuring for them beforehand. Like they don't want to be like the laughing stock of Wall Street. They don't want to be made like an example of. So they probably, if we knew that it's going live at 10, I guarantee they were already set up yesterday and took care of everything they needed to. They're not just going to sit back and be like, oh, okay, now that the rule, like we should probably do something. Like if we know about it, that means that they know about it probably even earlier, and they're doing what they need to not get caught. Hey, Matt, I got a PRG 2 days ago, October 15th one, trying to play do you think keep up the good work? Chris, I mean, I like your plan. Like you have a well-defined plan. Will it play out? I don't know, but you have well-defined risk, well-defined reward, and that's all you could really do. All right. What happens to margin calls? All right, we did that. So AMC hanging out at 44.25. Like it. The RSI is just cooling off a bit. We did have a nice push this morning. Went up. Really, actually never even got overbought on the 1 minute. Interesting. But let's look for the reversion back above 440. MMAT thoughts. I know a lot of people in this community are talking about MMAT. It shot up today. Looks like now it wants to do this gap fill back down to yesterday's high at 540. When it shoots up, it loses those gains and it gapped. It looks like it wants to do that gap fill. Looks like it wants to do that gap fill. Hang on 1 second. All right. What else? Okay, SPY pushing. All right, let's see if this swings around on AMC. AMC currently at 44.20 for my listeners, and then GME is at 212.40. GME is kind of getting itself really actually into a bull flag. If I can draw this properly, maybe this one's better. Let's see how that plays out. But MMAT, let me go to the 3-minute chart there. 3 minute. Perfect. SPY looking strong. All right, the RSI on AMC has cooled off enough. What is going on with the MACD? Nope, we don't need that. Ooh. All right, let's see we see some sellers stepping in on both AMC and GME currently. AMC is kind of at that pivot level, some resistance, some consolidation, some support. Let's see how this plays out here. Just north of 44. Watch for this MACD, watch for these bars, the red bars to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and then look for the crossover. And Matt getting smacked right now. How's Any doing? Any not looking the best until it needs to get above 710. What time are you going to put in your Sangria weekend tab play? I don't know yet, Gary. That's a good question. I guess if I see a nice opportunity, but thus far, we're about almost 40 minutes into the day. The Sangria play, for all we know, it might be a classic AMC GME Sangria play. If these things can base and get moving pretty soon here. I like the enthusiasm all the way up until about 10. And let's just see if this is a normal ebb and flow breather to see if we get some follow through on both of these guys. Well, guy and gal, I should say. Learn from my past chasing, missed the SPRT run, so I got 30% on the way down. It could be done both ways, folks. Where is the tuckin' watch list? Shout out RX 22. Can we go over the lime technicals? I think it could really help. Or are we moving to coconut support? So right now we're at that lime support for sure. We have lime support at a nice level of 44 on AMC, and we have a trend line lime support on GME. And right now what we're looking for, GME showing a little bit of enthusiasm. How's IWM looking? IWM. There we go. We're going to get this bounce. IWM, you want to see this above 228, 229, 228.80, and then 229. There we go. There's some bounce. There is some bounce. All right, let's see what this can actually bring across. Man, Any kind of a bust. I don't even really kind of want to watch Any anymore. I'd rather watch AMC and GME. It feels like they could have an interesting day. All right. SPY still looking strong after its trendline breakout, but now running into the resistance from the opening high. Remember, the reaction to the S&P 500 had to do with the jobs report, and I should say lack of jobs. Unemployment is down. which is good, but the job creation was very, very low. All right, here we go, AMC, pushing back. Pushing back, pushing back. See, bouncing off the 50 moving average in VWAP on the 5 minute. Sweet. Phoned in sponsor of the day. The sponsor of the day is actually Manscaped. We have a real one. Thoughts on ZNGA? ZNGA. All right. ZNGA. Oh, kind of looking strong. I like this. The risk is pretty close. Look forward to get above 910, and you still have that gap fill potential up to 960. I don't like Hut 8 mining. I mean, there's a lot of people trying to talk about these mining companies. I don't see why we just wouldn't play crypto directly. It makes more sense to me that way. All right, AMC looks like it might be doing something. What else do we have? Any interesting? I'm just seeing if there's news or any interesting options flow, anything like that. All right, AMC, where's your volume at? 14 mil. Is this going to pick up? What are you doing, AMC? GME. GME trying to get this trend line breakout. Let's go back to the Russell 2000. Russell 2000, 3 minute. Okay, showing a bit of strength. Let's see if this can push. We want both the Russell 2000 and the S&P 500 to push. GME trying to get its breakout. First stop would be pretty much 215 flat. Come on, AMC, keep pushing. AMC at 44.40. And now we have a bit of... can I look at OLB? Sure. OLB. Not looking good intraday. And it already gap filled. It shot up and then sold off. Don't like it. Looks pretty weak to me. Great work, Mac. I followed your content for the last couple of months and I think you do a tremendous job simplifying a complex industry. I've learned a lot. Thanks. Shout out, Andy. That's very kind of you. Was watching you yesterday and you looked at FTFT. I bought some calls, made a quick profit on the gap fill, AMC, GME to the moon. Thanks, Matt. Shout out. That's awesome. You crushed that interview. What is the fundamental? Should have been like, listen, lady, I don't even know what a fundamental is. What else do we have? SPY, pushing. Pushing on SPY. Come on. All right, AMC. So potentially a trend line. We only have 2 touches, so that's not really going to be an established trend line, but let's see if it bends back around. I'm watching this MACD right here. This cross on the MACD. So we saw some bullish momentum on the minute chart for AMC, and then right here it started to sell off. The MACD went to a small bearish trend, and then we bounced right off of 44, and it feels like we're trying to bend back around. So simultaneously, I'm looking for this trend line breakout and really for AMC to get above 44.50 and then for this to go green. That is what I am looking at. GME got its trend line breakout. Watch 215. GME is now at 0.34% on the day, and AMC is pretty much break even. It's at its break even level. All right. SPY looking strong. IWM also looking strong. There we go. All right, sweet. check out the Amazon DD stuff at some point this weekend on the extended weekend. Do not forget, Monday the market is going to be closed. Might have already been mentioned, FBRX falls 20% after scraping development FB401 treatment. Press like to buy Kohrs. Fundamentals are solid. New CEO, Chair Entertainment official, rumored to be in talks with Trace Lamp. What's going on, Tim? Only things I learned from Matt is he loves tulips and hates peas. Love you. Shout out Dan Smith. I hope you're having a great Friday. Matt, can I get a old brother in the voice changer shirt?
Oh, brother, AMC's gearing up for a MACD cross trendline break and rip to new highs. Fingers crossed.
Well, like, I see Kenny has a real smooth shave. We can only imagine the southern half looks like. I'm sure he could have Manscaped shout out. Do you think SPY will sell off late in the day going into the long weekend? Not necessarily. I mean, right now the momentum's strong. I have no specific reason to think that it would sell off. I mean, if we see momentum, we see momentum. Kongi, Matt, why you stealing DD? Whose DD did I steal? I haven't stolen DD. How's TTCF chart play? TTCF. Intraday not looking the best, but daily, this is it. This is a reason of why I think once there's a bit of weakness, it needs to come down, cool off, and create a new base. So you're waiting for the new base to get formed. All right, AMC. Now I'm definitely more so watching this 44.40 level. So it looks like the red-green move is acting as resistance momentarily. So watch for this MACD cross and then basically a push to the current intraday high at 44.80. Russell 2000 pushing, though. That should help out. SPY strong. Russell 2000 strong. This should bode well. There we go, AMC. There we go, AMC. What would be a fun YOLO play of the day? All right. All right. AMC showing that strength, flexing some muscles. You gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right. Trying to see if I could get some sort of quick fill on AMC. That would be nice, but I don't know if it's actually going to fill. I put in a limit buy. Does Melissa Lee husband know you're her boyfriend? Have a great day and weekend. Moon Gang, Gorilla Champ, shout out. Thoughts on MNMD for long term? The psychedelics industry, I think it might take a bit. Like it might be a bit of a longer term just for like the government approval and all that type of stuff. But I would be bullish on it. I think we're trending in that way, but it's similar to the cannabis industry where it might just take time to get all that federal legalization. TTCF I have puts, by the way. Trader Mike, I think in the short term, you might be getting some money on that. It looks like it's running out of steam. All right, sweet. Let's check out Ortex really quick on AMC and GME. Okay, AMC, they've borrowed $1.5 million against it. Short interest is up to 18.2%. On GME, they've borrowed $64,000. Short interest, 12%. All right, I have 44. So basically from 44.80 to 45 is resistance. After 45, I'm watching 45.70. and then pretty much 46.50. After 46.50, I'm paying attention to 48 to 48.30. Those are all the important levels I'm watching on AMC to see how it reacts. So right now it's trading at 44.60, which means it is coming up to that first 20-cent region of resistance. AMC, it's green on the day by a quarter, by 25 cents, and then GME is pretty much flat on the day at 213 right now. All right, so the MACD did cross. We're seeing a bit of green. I like this, the volume at 1017, but let's see if there's follow through. Could you explain gap fills and how someone would play them? Thanks. Have a 3-day weekend. Yeah, a gap fill is basically when there's a literal gap in the chart from like one bar to the next bar, you play that gap fill. So if you gap down, you play it back up. If you gap up, you play it back down. There is a statistical edge to these gaps getting filled, but not necessarily the day of. It could be the next day, a week later, a month later, a year later. But there is a statistical edge to gap fill plays. Just curious, have you ever shorted a stock in your career? Oh yeah, plenty. Like I've done it all. I've gone long on stocks. I've shorted stocks. I've played calls. I've played puts. I bought calls. I sold calls. I bought puts. I sold puts. I've done it all. I've tried it all out. I mean, I'm not inherently against shorting. I don't know. Some people are like, whatever. In a weird way, they're like, we should never short ever. I don't agree with that. There are companies who deserve to get shorted. Nikola is an example of one. Robinhood is an example of one. Luckin Coffee is another example. There are companies out there who lie and they're fraudulent and they have poor business models. There are companies that deserve to get shorted and deserve to go down, and I see no reasons why you can't make money off of that. Shout out Prague thoughts on Ortex. Prague has a short interest of 24%, shares on loan 9.35 million, and utilization of 84%. The chart looks like crap though. All it is downtrending. So it has the numbers there as like a checklist type thing, but all it's doing is downtrending. It's like trying to catch a falling knife. All right, AMC. There we go. Come on, let's see 45. Man, I just want a crazy rip to like 50 today. So badly. Like, what a way to end out this week if we get that. And I know I'm saying it at 10:20. We're not even an hour into the day, but just, do you know what that would do for this stock because of the community? If we rip today, if we close above like 48.30, if we close above 50, do you know how nuts people would be going into the weekend and like how strong the start of next week could be? I don't know if it's going to happen. It's obviously possible. You never know when this stock moves. It seems to like move when you least expect it. But man, that could just get so much momentum going. Can you take a look at WKEY? I got $10 calls for October 10th. Looking good or no? WKEY. No, not looking that good. I mean, it shot up and now I'm seeing weakness. If it starts to turn back around, like if you start to see that you might be good, but right now buyers are not really stepping in. Matt, wildly, if someone wanted to take some of their SPRT profits and put it into MAT, BBIG, or any, what are the current support levels? I guess on all those. I mean, BBIG, any, there's support at 650. BBIG, there's maybe support at 6. MMAT, there is 470, 475. All right. MMAT actually looking weak on the day right now. BBIG kind of looking weak. BGFV looking better. Any, not doing anything. And then SPRT looking stronger on the day, honestly. Stonks Batman, shout out. Hey, Mark, get the rally hat out. Oh, I have the rally hat. We'll get it ready. We need this to start moving, though. I just don't want it to be, I mean, what was it? It was yesterday that it sold off a bit, or it went up a bit and then it just sideways chopped. I just want to make sure this isn't a chop day. Like, we want a nice trend of a day. Is the spicy chip $50 close challenge still on? I mean, that was for yesterday. We can make a new challenge, but those challenges go from day to day. It's like it has to close at this value today. So currently there's no chip challenge going on. I guess we could make one though. I would do that. If we close out today, I would do that challenge again. If AMC stock at 4 p.m. Eastern today is above $50, we'll do a chip challenge this weekend. That like spicy chip challenge. All right. What is my take on MILE? Oh, swinging back around. It's a little bit of a cheaper stock on lower volume. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but in terms of technicals, it's starting to show some strength. I'd pay attention to 590 and then 670 with the support being at 380. All right, we have IWM. All right, AMC, stop this red crap. Let's get right into it. We want these tendies and we want them now. KPLT, I think it's a legitimate gap fill play. I don't think it's a short squeeze play by any means, but I do think KPLT has opportunity for a gap fill. Tilray does not follow AMC Daydream. They are not really correlated whatsoever. Don't do the chip, it's stupid hot, and I'm Mexican. Yeah, no, I think it's going to be painful, but that's why it's a challenge then, you know? Nothing in life ever came easy. I have a picture I tweeted you. Question is, why does it look like the borrow fee dropped before it runs up? Makes no sense. Also, December now fee price. Because I've tweeted a picture. Let me see if I can find this. Where are my notifications? Show more. Stonks. Let me just search you. Stonks Batman. Borrow fee, because the borrow fee has nothing to do with the price of the stock. Stonks Batman. If the price goes up or goes down, it has nothing to do. The borrow fee, cost to borrow when you're trying to borrow shares to potentially short, it's exclusively based on how many shares are available and the demand for those shares. So if a lot of people are trying to short, but there's not many, it'll be expensive. If there are a lot of people to short and the pool is pretty filled out, pretty liquid of shares that can be shorted, it'll be okay. And if there's a huge pool and no one's trying to short, it'll be dirt cheap. There is no correlation with the price of the stock or the perceived danger of the stock. It is exclusively the supply and demand of shares that can go short and how many people are trying to short. If you really are the agile Chris Hemsworth of the stock market, you will accept the milk crate challenge. Yeah, people were talking about that yesterday. And then I was watching some videos of it last night, and all I see is people falling off like the top one and getting like super hurt. I got a one chip challenge, only 1.5 million Scoville units. I also have the world's hottest gummy bear at a staggering 9 million Scoville units. I don't know what the chip is. I'm just told it's super hot. And I'm actually like kind of worried about it. When did the fee come down once the brokers get more shares? Yeah, but that's the pool of total loanable shares. If the total loanable shares go down, like go up, the cost to borrow will fall because you have a bigger pool. But even if they get more, if demand continues to rise, you're not going to see a change in it. It's literally just that balancing act of supply and demand for people who want to short, or not. I shouldn't say short. I should say want to borrow those shares. All right, AMC hanging out at 44.30 currently. I want to see this back above 44.50. And AMC, wait, how's that possible? Oh, it closed at 38 yesterday, I believe, or 36 or something like that. You see the woman snap her arm or the young king. I haven't seen any injuries. I've seen people fall, but not like serious injuries. Oh, Gil, good point. If you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys could all annihilate the like button. It does help me out with the engagement. It gets this video served to other people. It's completely free to you. Honestly, for all of the effort and stuff I do, all I ask is that you like, subscribe, follow. That stuff is completely free. Anything beyond that is a complete bonus, and I appreciate it. But the effort I put in, the stuff we do here, all I literally ask for is just that free stuff. I was the one who suggested it yesterday. I see a hood Olympian in you. What's going on, Dan? Gummy bear is worse than chip. I mean, based on what the guy was just saying about the Scoville units, I completely agree. I mean, it sounds like it was, 9x the heat? Joe, what's going on? I appreciate that. Okay, and I think, just shout out to everyone on Rumble. I think we got that working again today. South Kakalaka, Davy King, Ivy Creek Studio, Dave's Unbranded. All right, and then shout out to everyone on Twitch. All right, AMC betting it back around. Just went green. Oh, now it's break even. Of course, as I say, it goes green. It goes back to break even. We're right at its red-green move right here. What up, Matt? Bend, Oregon. Wounded Warriors are here holding strong. What's your thoughts on October 7? Any call? I got it. It was at 6:50, and I'm green now. Any is being a bit weird. If I was in profits on any, I would not be too afraid of locking those in based on the offering going on in 850. And over the weekend, if people lose interest in it, of course, there is a chance that it swings back around and starts ripping again next week. And you could always re-enter your position. Nothing is stopping you from re-entering the position. But right now, it does feel a bit weird. I mean, where is any at? Any, okay, wait, showing some strength. At this point, I would see how it plays out today. If it ends like strong and heads into the weekend, I'd feel more comfortable holding it. I was thinking about it when it was looking a little weak here, sub 7. But yeah, watch for the 760 breakout, then watch 8, then watch 9, 950, 10. Ride the momentum. Ride the momentum. The gummy bear challenge is not worse than the chip. Different materials. Chips get all over the mouth. Gummy is hot, but doesn't coat the mouth. 12 million borrowed this morning against AMC. I highly, highly, highly doubt that. Yeah, I don't know where, Kyle, I don't know where you got that, but 1.56 million was borrowed against AMC. You might want to check your data source for that one. Chip wasn't bad for me. The Deathnet challenge was terribly hot. I wanted to die. Robert Fernandez becoming an astronaut. Shout out. Thoughts on ENVB? ENVB. Looking strong. It's at resistance and it's run too much. I would not chase it. But if you're in it, awesome. You did well. But I mean, a lot of people I feel like are finding these stocks that are up a lot. That just because the stock's up a lot, that doesn't mean you should be like, oh, I want to buy it just because it's up a lot. Like the buyers might be running out of power. They might be running out of money. Just chasing big gainers is not a good methodology. His data source was Reddit. Is that serious? I mean, folks, you got to check it. You got to check it. Make sure you're not spreading false news. In my opinion, Baba is one for the most undervalued long-term plays. I agree with it, but that one's a bit of a tough one because you're also trying to, it involves geopolitical positions beyond just like the success of the company. Do I think that Alibaba is severely undervalued? Yes, but it gets difficult when you have political tensions and issues between the company and the Chinese government, the US and the Chinese government. The Chinese government just announced that they're coming out with their own stock market. Like, you have other things at play beyond just the company and how it's doing. From this moment on, if the price is dropping, y'all need to say, Jen, stop watching. Every time I look, price drops, I'll be in the corner. What's going on, Jen? Where's the freaking rockets? All right, let's try today with let's slap some limes on the chart and see how this really plays out. Let's get some green limes. There we go. All right, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this. Good, good, good. Let's see how this goes. Did both gummy bears worse? It's sugary and thick. It lingers in your esophagus. I mean, all of this is just, they're all going to be awful for me. Like, neither of them is going to be like, oh, this was a bit better, this was a bit worse. Maybe we need a target for GME to get into. GME trading at 211.50 while AMC is at 44.40, slightly green on the day. We are looking for this trend line test. Man, this 44 region, a lot of chop in it. I'm thinking about buying Moon Gang merch for my dad's birthday, and thanks for making me stupid amounts of money, and I love condos more than Mormons. Shout out Johnny. Congrats, man. I appreciate that support with the merch, man. All right. AMC thus far doing a whole bunch of nothing. Kind of feels like it's being pinned to its close of yesterday at like the 44.30 region. They're just checking the oil in the rocket. I hope so. I hope so. It also doesn't help that the Russell 2000 tried to break out. And ever since 1018, it's just getting smacked. I mean, look at this. This is it's a small cap sector thing. This is not an AMC thing right now. The selling you see, AMC's trying to fight and hold on, but it's the Russell 2000 that's dragging it right now. Probably somewhat related to what we're seeing with the jobs reports and the unemployment report that came out. All right, let's see this. Support right at 40.40. All right. AMC, hold on. Hold on. ANY might be setting up for a cup and handle. If it is a cup and handle, it's pretty much a picture perfect one, but the key to a cup and handle is to actually get that handle and that pushback. But double rejection at 760. AMC fighting its heart out at 40.40, at 44, trying to hold on to that. Amy cup and handle jumped in at 26% down, thought it was decent. Buy. Oh, I think you mean ANY, not AMY. This one, it might be. You want to see if it actually bases and start to reverse course right here. I'm more so paying attention to the Russell 2000. It seems as if it's just selling. Selling at the moment. Hey, Matt, been with you since February with my 12 of AMC, learning a lot, practicing with small trades, so I feel confident to do some larger ones. Thanks for all you do. And whatever Batman stops by, I know he's talking to me. Rachel's short for short for Rachel. That's funny. That is funny. All right. RSI definitely getting to that oversold zone. So let's see if there's a technical bounce off of 44. GME trying to pull that U-turn at 211 up to 212. All right. All right. Thoughts on GNUS as a long-term play? I'm trying to grow my knowledge and start small. Ape strong. Good luck with the chip. So GNUS for a long-term play, when you're talking about long-term, that's much more of the fundamentals and not at that point really the technicals. You're taking a bet on where you think the company will or won't go. So with that, you would want to dive into their balance sheet. If you like what the company is doing, if you think they're going to be successful at it, their competition, that's the stuff you'd want to look into. I know what we need. Can I use this super to buy a little Rich Greenfield and his cute little red nose on AMC? Brother Duck, let's lit moon. The Rich Greenfield, we need a bit more momentum. I guess, do we need a magnet? I see where you're going with it, Fuzzy G, but right now we need some momentum to even be able to use that Rich Greenfield. Let's try just the magnet. Let's give this the old whirl. Helped us out a little bit yesterday. Maybe it just needs to be bigger. Could be the issue. Could be the issue. Man. We're hanging out at 43.90. GME at 211. Both of them, and this isn't... I fear that the magnets aren't overcoming the Russell 2000 sell-off. Like, this is not an AMC thing. This is not a GME thing. This is especially related to AMC. This is the Russell 2000. Whatever's going on, it got hit, and people are selling out at 229, and they pushed it down $1.25 already. I can't believe I'm buying crypto supers with crypto right now. It's absolutely crazy. I get 4% back with Coinbase card, but make sure you use USDC so you don't have 2.5% liquidation fee. I love the content. Shout out Johnny Farmer. We're looking for the Russell 2000 bounce back around. Come on. Let's get this bounce. All right. Right now, AMC is at 43.87 and GME is at 211.40. Wait, someone said, oh, is the president talking right now? Is that what's going on? Let's see. Disappointing jobs report could slow Fed taper and raises twin fears for economy. Biden delivers remarks on August huge missed jobs report. So this, I don't think, is an individual stock thing, folks, of what we have going on right now. The economy is not up to where people think it should be.
You know, we have a lot more work to do, as I will discuss shortly, but the facts speak for themselves. Think of where this country stood on the day I was sworn in as president and compare it to where we are today. The number of people filing new claims for unemployment each week is down 57%. Down 57%. Child poverty is down nearly 50%. We're no longer seeing long lines of people waiting for boxes of food to be put in their trunk after waiting for hours, or sometimes up to 2 hours. The unemployment rate is down from 6.3% to 5.2%, and I believe it's going to continue to go down. And it's no wonder that last week's Gallup poll found that 72% of Americans think that now is a good time to find a quality job. At this time last year, that number was 30%. And that's the mark of an economy where regular people can see a place for themselves in the economy. You know, the holidays we celebrate this weekend, the holiday Labor Day, is about honoring the dignity of work, honoring the American worker. And that's what our economic strategy is all about as well. It's about growing our economy from the bottom up and the middle out, providing some extra breathing room for families. And my dad would just say, just a little breathing room, creating an environment where employers have to compete for workers by providing higher wages and better benefits. That's what's happening. Wages are up, especially for working class Americans. Even so, even with the progress we've made, we're not where we need to be in our economic recovery. There are two critical tasks ahead this month to get us closer to our goal and to take the next steps in our recovery. And the first, we need to make more progress in fighting the Delta variant of COVID-19. This is a continuing pandemic of the unvaccinated. Since becoming president, I've ramped up testing, secured enough vaccine for every single American, and gotten 175 million Americans fully vaccinated. Still, too many have not gotten vaccinated. And it's created...
All right, there's not really much being said. If you guys want to listen to that, I put it on the members only because people all of a sudden have to start getting into political fights. So let me switch this back. I thought there was going to be something a little bit more interesting going on with that, so I just switched the chat back so you guys will be good. But anyway, I think I switched it back. Did that Matt Kohrs? Yeah, okay. So now it's back. Yeah, I didn't know if they were saying something like actively about the market right now, but it's the same political fluff that I feel like we get day in and day out. So not really much to go into on that one. Acts of battle, support, resistance, hard level to get anywhere for a while, or does it glide past it ever? I mean, anything's possible, but it's just that would be like the level I would be trying to, I guess, myself target. All right. Well, while we're waiting for these things to wake up, see what's going on here very, very quickly. Shout out to today's sponsor, Manscaped. It's pinned to the top of chat, but all you have to do is go to manscaped.com/moongang. Today's episode is sponsored by our friends at Manscaped, the leaders in below the waist grooming. It's back to school time, and we want to make sure you pack the essentials to have the best year yet. The Manscaped 4th Generation Performance Package is just that. Things are opening up. Be ready for whatever is the daily schedule for you. It's the perfect package for your package and includes the brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Fellas, go to the valedictorian of bald trimming and join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com/moongang. The valedictorian of bald trimming. Oh man, folks, from my own, like, they sent it to me. It is a good ball trimmer. They also sent me a nose trimmer, which I think is good, and I think all dads should have it. And what's actually really surprising is they sent me some Manscaped underwear. Surprisingly comfortable. The Lawnmower 4.0 has the 7,000 RPM, a new multi-function on-off switch, and can engage a travel lock and gives you the ability to turn the 4K LED spotlight on when you need for a more precise shave. Did I mention that this trimmer is waterproof as well? So they have cool nose trimmers, ball trimmers. They have ball deodorant, ball toner. Still don't really know what ball toner is. Very comfortable underwear, but check it out. It's all manscaped.com/moongang, pinned to the top of chat. Get 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com/moongang. That's 20% off and free shipping. This year, graduate with a degree in clean balls from Manscaped. Check it out. Once again, shout out to Manscaped for sponsoring today's stream. Valedictorian. Oh, that's funny. What's the best time to get in a stock for day trading? When it breaks resistance, support? I like to get in at support, and then if it breaks below it, I take a small loss and I cut it, and then I look to ride it up to resistance, and if it looks like it's going to break out, I'll try to hold, but if not, I take my profits there. You wouldn't want to get in at resistance because it could be a fake out breakout. It might not break it whatsoever. I don't get negative beta. Market goes down, so does AMC. Because beta changes based on the time frame that you're looking at. It could have a positive beta on a larger time frame, but a negative beta on like a weekly chart. So make sure you're checking the beta on various time frames. The longer your time frame is, AMC will have a positive beta, as in it's related to the S&P 500. On a shorter time frame, there could be a negative beta. It just depends on your time frame. Check out KPLT. Yeah, so a lot of people have been asking about KPLT. I just think it's a pretty solid gap fill play. Like, I don't think there's really anything too special about it. It's up nice, but I'm still just looking for this gap fill up to 929. Or maybe you want to lock in a little early at 780, but sold off, base came back. The risk is a little far away. You're risking like $4, so the risk is a little high, but the reward's also high. So this is a little bit more of a, I would say maybe a difficult play, but I would be watching like 930, something like that. Just kidding, but that rolling over the other day. Love you, Matty Boy. Shout out, Eric. Thanks for your opinion on VIH. Waited for the gap fill and entered at 1025. Hope to make profits in the short term like SPRT and put them back into AMC GME. Shout out. Let's get the Twitter hashtag going. Gary meet Charles. Oh, for Charles Payne, I am very surprised. Sent you Twitter DM about the 11 million share borrow. That's just not true, though. It doesn't matter. I mean, that is false information. They did not borrow 11 million shares against AMC today. I mean, we have it right here. This isn't like an opinionated thing. This is just fact. They borrowed 1.82 million. They borrowed a tenth of what people are trying to say. What do we have here? What was this one? SPRT, congrats. Shout out, Eric. Oh, Gary meet Charles. Yeah, I find it very weird that Gary Gensler will not go on making money with Charles Payne. I find that super, super strange. I got my balls and face trimmers mixed up. Now my face smells like Kenny's breath. Tell Manscaped I'm a buyer when they show me their 13F for AMC. Hodl. Shout out, D. Someone said it was clearly fake. I mean, I could look into it, but I mean, we know it's just not new. Like, that's not how many they borrowed. I don't know. What do we have here? This is what they're talking about. All right, we did that. Let me check my notifications. I'm looking for this 11 million thing. Do I need to like just reload? I don't know why people are always so keen to spread false information. I think it can end up becoming pretty damaging to the community. All right. IWM seeing some of that weakness. Continued weakness, really. Wow. Hey, at least AMC is doing its best to fight back. I mean, it's trying to do its best to diverge. Trying. I would be watching this level, 44, basically. We had some resistance, support. It tried to have support. It broke down. So see if it can recapture it, because then we would still have that pattern of a higher low on the day. All right. What do we have? Should be $6. Oh, that's about Chad from last night. All right. We're looking for AMC just to bend it back around, showed a bit of strength. KPLT, I don't think it's a short squeeze play. I think it's a nice technical play. The risk is a little too far away, so it is a higher risk play, but there's also decent reward potentially involved in it. Let's go back to the S&P 500. Okay, sweet. Just taking down some notes.
Oh,
Hello. Documentary family office managed by Bill. What do we have going on? A bit of a boring day. We need some trend. We need something going on. We need some action. Man, the Russell 2000 getting smoked right now.
we need the Russell 2000 to bounce.
All right, AMC, what are you doing? GME, what are you doing? All right, we have this. Really need this trend line at the moment. All right, we have that. SPY trying to wake back up. Same with IWM. So hopefully this leads to some green and other things going on. Hopefully. Morning, Matt. My last 5 $2 supers were skipped in the past 2 days. I love you, but I'm not rich. Can you do some T on Wish? Yeah, just so I guess everyone knows, like if I'm missing them, just tag. All you have to do is tag a mod and they could get it to me. But also they disappear. The way YouTube structures it is they disappear if more quickly if they're in less value. So if that happens, literally just send it to a mod and they could get it to me. All right. So Wish is another gap fill. Like this isn't different from KPLT. You're just waiting. I mean, you need to break out of 785 and then a gap fill, but right now it's not doing much. Matt, check your Twitter message. Weeble pulling some BS. They painting it. You said AMC is going to $6 a share. Well, that's not cool. News. When did the news come out? I'm on AMC, right? Alibaba, Wall Street. Top analysts on why AMC is headed to $6 a share. So top analysts on why AMC is headed to $6 a share. But then they use my picture. That's a bit weird. and day trader Matt Kohrs explains why he's still bullish on the stock. I don't know why this would be the headline with my picture. That seems a little like either use his picture or put day trader Matt Kohrs explains why he's still bullish on the stock as the title and then use my picture. But the mismatch is like kind of messed up. Ethereum just hit 4,000. Ding, ding, ding. I mean, if you get on that, like that's, I mean, when I've been talking about Ethereum ever since this breakout back here. So that's almost a 30% return ever since August 27th. You would have killed it on Ethereum. So congrats if you're in that. Congrats. Is it true that Citibank is buying the entire float? No, that is not true at all. It's impossible. Can you do your best Wrench Capital impersonation? No. I just don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm that good at like impersonations. I feel like it wouldn't. I'd probably miss the mark on it. Ape needs videos on the difference between covering and closing out margin calls. If hedge funds probably already covered earlier this week. Yeah, probably. Check your Twitter message, Weeble. Yeah, thank you, BioLife. Ortex did the same thing this morning. Did say this morning that 11 were borrowed this morning. I checked myself. It since has been updated, obviously. Not sure what happened. Wait, when did Ortex say that? I mean, we've been here all day. Did they tweet out about it? Ortex. I'm not seeing an Ortex tweet, and we've been checking Ortex all morning. I'm not seeing an 11 million figure. Did anyone see an 11 million figure on Ortex? If they did do it and they corrected the data, usually they tweet out about that type of a thing. Like, oh, sorry, the data has been corrected. But I don't even see a tweet. And we've been here like all day paying attention to it. Morning, Matt, my last. All right, we did that. Let's rally up. F manipulation. They're never going to do change. So we rallied the government, banks, and fraud friends. We need change. All right, BBIG, the next level of support. BBIG. I would say $6 on BBIG. GME at 210. GME and AMC just being sold today. Where are the buyers at? I saw 11 mil before it updated at 7 a.m. It was last night. It literally says Thursday 7. Okay. So I guess that was a mess up last night, but I don't see like how it pertains to today. Because remember, they do a big update at like 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. That's like when the numbers are updating, like when they run through all the data from the previous day. No joke, that CNBC thing was a video that I watched last night. I thought you were on the same video. They straight footed you. Now I'm pissed. It happens. If people click on it and watch it, they'll see my, like, whatever. That's the game of getting people to click. They know. I mean, think about it. Imagine how many people in our community clicked on it because they saw that headline and saw my picture and they're like, oh no, like Matt said that. And then you watch the video and you realize that it's not that at all. Like, it's just like how the game is played. But what's weird about it is a lot of people in the world, this isn't even just for our community, end up making their assumptions without even diving into it. Do you know how many people probably made their assumption about me by just seeing the picture and the headline? And they're like, oh, wait, what? What did Matt do? And then they didn't even like bother to watch the video. To me, that's like the frustrating part. Ooh. Who do we have here? Wait, can we kick this guy? Who is this? All right, thank you, Vegas, for kicking that guy out. Where do these Gregs? Last night, had 11 million borrow with 6 million return, 5 million net. The numbers are correct this AM with 11 million on loan. Oh, okay. So people before were trying to say that was the net on the day. So with the net being 5, that makes sense because we went from like basically 106 to 111. So that adds up. Hey, Matt, I'm late to this stream. Did you already cover the weird price movement in Blockbuster on the weekly chart? No, and I'm not going to just because that's not on the normal market. That's on the gray market because it has 5 letters. So that doesn't trade on like the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. It's in the gray market. And if you think that this market of the things we have up right now is not regulated, you're going to be very unhappy with the gray market, even less regulation. Even less. NHOD becoming an astronaut. Shout out. Amazon, we were talking about them being in cahoots with Citadel. They want to buy AMC at a discount. They will not allow it to go to the moon. I need to look into that. I can't say I agree with it or disagree with it. Some people, it looks like the DD is pretty extensive, so I need to dive into it. Oh, yeah. All right. I think we're there. They were obviously paid by someone to confuse the baby apes. Could be. All right, sweet. Hang on. Quick water break. Man, selling. Selling. All right, just so everyone knows, I probably should have said the plan of the day. With it being Friday, I do need to take care of some errands. So at 11:30, I'm going to stop this stream, and then I'll be back at 2. So that's kind of been the new schedule that I'm coming into, is like a bit of that midday break, and then always back at 2 p.m. So like I said, I will be back at 2. We'll stream from 2 to 4, and if something's going crazy, I'll basically try to get out of the doctor's office fast to get back here as quickly as I can if it gets moving. So that's the plan. I'll be signing off at 11:30, so in about 30 minutes, and then I will be back on at 2 p.m. Eastern. I keep hearing you saying DD. What does DD mean? Due diligence, basically your own research. Your own research. Right now, AMC is trading at 43.40, and then we have GME trading at 209. Any maybe swinging back around. Look for any to get above 726. IWM at 228. Is the cup and handle on the 2 hour still holding up? I don't know what time frame, but yeah, if you're looking at this cup and handle, we basically want to get above 45 and start tracking up for this cup and handle. Patience. I mean, this, we have a little bit of a, here, let me show you this. Little bit of a bull flag going on. Remember, a bull flag trading upward and then a downward channel. So that's the flag pole. And then you have two, if I drew it a little bit differently, you'd have more of the parallel lines, the top line, the bottom line. And then you are looking for a test and a breakout of the top trend line and to get that follow through. So patience. That's what we're waiting for. Do you ever think Doge is going to have another run? I think it could definitely, it's capable of another run, in my opinion. What is Doge at right now? Is at 30 cents, and it's actually looking strong. If Doge goes above 31, I think it'll have clear sailing up to 33. So I think there's movement there. As of right now, I'm very bullish on crypto. I've been bullish on crypto, but I mean, I've been calling out these opportunities. I was calling out right here, Bitcoin at 47, Cardano back at 250 most recently, Doge on this trend line breakout at 28 cents. I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunity in crypto, and I think it's fun in crypto. For me, it's not one that I have to actively watch as much. Like, I like to buy it at support. I have alerts on my phone of like support. If it goes off, I buy, and that's pretty much it. Someone tweeted that Kenji is not rich because of his knowledge. He is rich because the SEC let him cheat. Interesting. Catapult with a K is double in daily volume. What about, I think it's sustaining this momentum gap fill. Is that a stock? What is that? Catapult Holdings. Oh, KPLT. Yeah, I'm just looking for that gap fill. We've talked about that. I think it's looking strong to me. I think a gap fills up to that, like that mid-9 level, given enough time. All right, people are asking for the Ortex numbers. Let me do this. All right, AMC, they've borrowed 1.87 million against it today. So the short interest is up to 18.24%. For GME, they've borrowed 64,000 with the short interest up to 12%. Don't forget to download Public. Don't forget to download Voyager. The code for that one is Matt21 in Public. You go to public.com/Matt Kohrs. And once again, shout out to Manscaped sponsoring today's stream. Manscaped, that's pinned to the top of chat right now to get that 20% off. And on top of that, also get your free shipping. Do you think the descending ladder in AMC is something algorithmically made? Someone wants to kill our positive vibes entering into the long weekend? No, I think people are just playing the levels. It could be some algorithms, some hedge funds. To me, it doesn't really matter who is making it, because to me, that doesn't change anything. The fact that it's made means it's made. If an algorithm's making it, if a hedge fund's making it, if retail's making it, it doesn't really change my thesis, because right now I'm watching the top trend line for a breakout. Day in and day out, really. On certain days, maybe it's more important because you do have certain expirations and long holiday weekends. But overall, the battle is us. Every single cent, we want it higher and higher. And for them, they want it every single cent lower and lower. So yeah, maybe long weekends have a little bit more of a psychological impact, but like literally every cent, every 25 cents, every 50 cents, every dollar is a battle. Of course, we want higher, higher, higher. They want it lower, lower, lower. Do you think, all right, we did that. Good morning, my guy. I love what you're doing. What do you think about MMAD and skills? So MMAT, I don't want to speak incorrectly about it. I need to look more into their acquisition with TRCH, but it was showing some strength this morning, and I believe now it's showing weakness. Yeah, it was showing some nice strength this morning, and that turned into weakness. It looks like we have some support coming up shortly at 540. And then SKLZ also just looking weak. Looking weak, looking weak. Where is my Discord right here? TCH, you get all the love for kicking people. Shout out to the mods. Special applaud to the mods. KPLT, looking at that, and I'm trying to watch IWM because IWM is causing a problem for our Amy girl right here. Both AMC and GME kind of in this downward channel, like both of them look very similar. So before someone just asking, does it look robotic, algorithmic? To me, it does. But also algorithmic trading, that's not illegal. That's not manipulation. That's just people writing programs to trade. And they might be trading very rapidly or slowly, but it does seem like a systematic sell-off, I guess is the best way to say it. Not a distraction, but I have a screenshot of Buff 24/7's bear behind, and despite the FUD, there's a definite squeeze potential. American Motors Corporation, that's hilarious. Oh,
brother, oh brother, oh brother, oh brother. All right, let's throw up the S&P 500. S&P looking kind of strong right now on an intraday perspective. Got that breakout and push of 453.
All right. AMC, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Why do people think Gary Gensler would screw over his hedge fund brother, Rob? I don't think people we look to Gary Gensler just to enforce the rules, not really much of like a conflict with his brother. Like if his brother's doing something illegal, I expect him to come crashing down on him, but not all hedge funds are doing something like illegal, illicit. That's who we're looking for him to fix, are the players that are not playing the game properly. And his brother, Rob Gensler, that's his brother? Rob Gensler. That's not a hedge fund. His brother doesn't work at a hedge fund. He works at T. Rowe Price, which is like Fidelity. It's a money manager. Kind of like Vanguard, like Fidelity. Robert Gensler. They do look very similar. Vice president of T. Rowe Price Group. That's not a hedge fund. Check out SLQT, please. I got in a 1250 call for 815. SLQT. SLQT. Ooh, looking good. I'll be watching this gap fill at 1366. Wait, you said you got in on 827. Oh, nice buy. Nice dip buy. Yeah, I would continue to ride that trend up. That's a great buy. Congrats, man. That's awesome. They're twins. That's crazy. Yeah, so it looks like his brother's also in the world of finance. President of T. Rowe Price Group. T. Rowe Price Institutional International Funds. Yeah, T. Rowe Price is huge. It's like a Fidelity. It's like a Vanguard. It's a big money manager. Think like people's retirement accounts and that type of stuff. Our Gensler retired from T. Rowe in 2012 at TD.com is an outdated orphan page. Oh, Tony, do you know where he works now? I just like quickly searched his name. I guess it's outdated. Did you hear about Jeff Bezos shorting AMC with Citadel? I did hear about it, but I don't know if there's truth to it. I need to kind of dive into that narrative myself. I don't want to be like, we see a lot of these things, the convertible bond thing, the AMC trading on the Brazilian market. We see a lot of these things that people say it and people get like jacked up right away. They're like, look at this. And this might be one of those things where it's a bit of FUD, or it might be completely accurate. I don't know. I need to look into it. All right, what we're doing, S&P 500. S&P trying to get above 453. GME down to 207. GME's down 3% on the day. AMC's down 1.8% on the day. Remember, 1.8% drop, 3% drop. It's not like we've been here before. We've had better days. We've had worse days. It sounds like it's kind of a low volume, do nothing type of a day, because I guess it's the Friday of a long weekend. So with this, AMC's only traded 24 million and it is 11:18. So we're almost 2 hours into the day, and it's low volume. So the people who move markets, these big money players, it sounds like they're just not really in the market today. Any idea why Sears is doing such a run today? Let me see. No, not. Oh, I'm trying to find something about Sears. No, there has to be something moving it, but I just searched Sears stock news. Something has to be going on. All right, AMC hopefully waking up and trying to get that push back to 44. Yo, Matt, the 1 week and 1 year chart look identical on CRSR. Thoughts? Looks like both are in a nice bull flag. 1 year and 1 week. a bull flag on CRSR. A bull flag? No. I mean, I guess a wedge if we're just going to get like technical there, but this is overall its chart is actually kind of like an ugly chart. Like it's not, it doesn't really have nice trends to it. It shot up, oddly went nowhere, sold off, then it just traded sideways, sold off, and now it's trying to bounce. I'm not seeing two very apparent bull flags, Brian. 1 week and the 1 year. Yeah, it's more of a wedge, not really a flag. Remember, a bull flag would be two parallel lines. This is more of a wedge. All right, how is any doing on the day? Any, and then we have SPY. Okay. Right now, AMC is trading at 43.50 and GME is trading at 206. Rob Gensler was a VP at Solomon. You, Matt, the one. All right, we did that. We did that. What did the guy at the top left corner look like? He shorted the heck out of stock mean when he said they can cover in spade. Oh, he was saying, I actually wish they kept me on to debate that point a little bit because that was wrong. He was saying because AMC's volume is high that they can go cover very easily. And AMC's volume is high, but in fact, there's more shares on loan than we're really trading on average right now. So they could not cover. He had that commentary like right after I spoke in that interview. They brought that next guy on. He's like, yeah, I get it. Fundamentals don't matter, but like with the volume, they can cover, like, I think he even said like in an hour, and they definitely cannot. For example, AMC thus far today, and we've been open for 2 hours, has traded 25 million, but there is 112 million on loan. So it is not that easy for them to cover quickly. We would literally need a day of 112 million for them to all theoretically cover in one day, and no one else is doing any form of buying. Like literally 100% of the buyers at a volume of 112 million would have to be the shorts covering. So that was a bit of an overstatement, and I would argue that it was an inaccuracy. He was making it sound like they could cover super, super easily, and they can't. That's why I say when people ask me like, oh, is it like going to happen like very quickly? I think it plays out over a couple of days in all reality because there's just so many shares on loan. So many shares on loan. But they did not, I guess, keep me on for that to like the debate that point of it. But he didn't also admit that like just this isn't a fundamental play, so why would it start mattering now? Not counting the billion fake synthetic shares, you don't cover synthetic shares. You cover naked shorts, and naked shorts create synthetic shares. And also, no one knows if it's a billion or not. We're doing our best to give that as accurately as we can based on that Say Technologies vote of be like, okay, we think it's in like certain realms, but no one knows the exact number. The people who know the exact numbers are basically the insiders to prime brokers and market makers. They're the ones who knows, but these numbers aren't reported, especially if you're a new ape and you're hearing this rhetoric of naked shorts and illegal, illicit synthetic shares, phantom shares. Do they exist? In my opinion, yes, they do. But it is up for discussion of how many of them exist. And the reason that's up for discussion is because the numbers are not reported. It's not like there's one report that says this many, this many, this many. So we do our best to hone in on certain numbers. Like, for example, you could look at the FTDs, but that's tough because they're always lagging at best by almost a month. And then we have other mathematical predictions based on how many people voted with Say Technologies when we were doing the AMC's most recent earnings announcement. So we have like a realm that it could be in, but no one knows the specific numbers. The people who know the specific numbers are prime brokers and market makers. Really specifically prime brokers. No, okay, I'm going to say both. Prime brokers and market makers. You would have to know both of them. Like, who are these people? Like Wolf of Willow. Like, what, like a, really like just kind of a sad little keyboard warrior. Nvidia bouncing back. Shout out Brambles. Definitely bullish on Nvidia. Hang on, let me get back to this. The IWM pushing. No, I mean, it depends on the news from the Pentagon. All right, sweet. We did that. I think I'm up to date there. We are good. We are good, good, good. All right, AMC showing some strength, getting out of this wedge very nicely. Let's watch the 43.80 and then the 44 level. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Hydrate up, folks. All right, AMC. Come on, push that 44. Come on, push it. AMC swinging back around. It did make it, technically, if this holds, it would be a new higher relative low. This morning it hit 43.10. Most recently, we are bouncing off of 43.30. So I don't mind a higher low. Looks like we're getting this bull flag breakout. Let's see if it can hold. Pay attention to 44. And then from there, the red green move, I believe at 44, like 36, maybe 38, something like that. So this is what I'd be watching in the very short term. All right. The S&P 500 trying to push, looking strong, getting out of this wedge, but let's see if it holds. Could be a cup and handle on the S&P 500 on the 3-minute chart. People get your emotions together. It's down 75 cents, less than a bottle of generic spring water at a gas station. Chill. Good point, Counselor Murray. Let's see if this gets going. All right. Any breaking news to go over? Not that I see. No. All right, what else do we have? All right, we were seeing some strength. This is pretty basic, folks. I mean, they walked it down. We had this flag, and we're just kind of watching 44. It's pretty straightforward. It's just going to come down to this test of 44, and then from there at 44, we take it up to the next level at the red-green move. But we saw, hang on, actually, let me dive into this. 15-minute. Let's go to the 30-minute. How did it look the day after consolidation? That was a push consolidation, and then a push for the remainder of the day. So it's still actually a little bit different. But ever since really September 1st at 2 p.m., AMC has done a pretty good job of not really going anywhere. Overall, this is the range we're in on a slightly bigger time frame. If I could draw this, actually. Why is this not working? All right. So ever since, well, really, I mean, we had the range there. It got out of the range, smacked back in. Like right now, AMC is range bound. So momentum could start building up if it recaptures 44. And then right after that, we have like that, the close of yesterday, 44, what was this? 44.38. And then after that, we wanted to get trucking up to like getting out of this range that we've kind of been in for a hot minute for the past, today, yesterday, and the end of the day on September 1st. You don't cover synthetics, you cover naked, and nakeds create synthetics. Isn't that semantics? Genuine question, not trying to be annoying. It's, well, I mean, if you're saying semantics as in, yeah, but that's just the situation. Like, to say you're covering synthetics, that's confusing. And I guess it's just inaccurate because then people think of like, hang on, if I have a synthetic share, what does that mean for me? And it doesn't work that way because no share is defined as being synthetic or not. It's not like someone owns a share and there's like a little like asterisk in your account that these shares are synthetic. Like it's way more than semantics. I think it's like a misunderstanding to say you cover synthetics. That's like a misunderstanding of the situation. It's beyond semantics, pixie elf. Because synthetics are the shares being created from a naked short. So even though they're created, it's not like the person who did a naked short goes out and buys those very specific shares. They buy shares just off the market to close their position. But the issue is it created these shares, the synthetic shares, that should have never existed because they never properly borrowed. And then you bloated supply. And if the demand stays the same when you have bloated supply, that pushes the price down. Thank you for teaching patterns. I know you're not into penny stocks, but I'm setting a self-challenge, opened a second brokerage account, and my goal is to use the free stock money to get to 500 by December without depositing. I think you could do it, Justin. I think you could definitely do it. Breaking news, today's the day. Get out of my $55 hood put. Thank you. That is all. Shout out the devil you know. Can you get my opinion on RSKD? RSKD. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a new stock. That's not exploding. I wouldn't trade it. It's just, this isn't a technical play. If you like the company or the fundamentals or just the excitement, but I don't see a solid technical setup here. Those betting against AMC wanted to close around 41 or less today to cause the most options to expire out of the money. Will they win? Nah. I mean, technically, they wanted to close it. Like, if it closes below 40, that would be even more out of the money. If it closes at 39, that would be even more. Like, every dollar it drops, more calls go out of the money. SHLDQ. SHLDQ. See how it's on the OTC market? So that means it's not on like what you would think of as a normal lit exchange. I guess it's waking up. It's up 100% today. Delayed data because it's on a different market. Depending on your brokerage, you might not even have access to trading it. You can tell it's a little bit funky because it has 5 letters. Most of them have 1 to 4 letters. And that's a moniker of it being on the OTC market or being like a mutual fund. But I feel like there had to be some sort of announcement or news on it of why it's like all of a sudden moving so much. I wonder if it's still just like in liquidation court or something along those lines. Zach, you're wrong. I do read your comments. What else do we have going on? Okay, shoot. I'm already actually a little bit late. So here is the plan. I need to drop this. I need to take care of some things. I have to go run to an appointment. I will, the latest I'm going to be back on is 2 p.m. The latest I'm on. And if I get things taken care of quickly, I'll be back on. So just make sure you're paying attention, or I'll tweet it out or something like that. But latest I'll be on is 2 p.m. and then I'll be streaming until market close. So shout out to everyone. I'll be back. Thank you for hanging out with me this morning. Have a phenomenal Friday until I catch up with you, and then we'll have a fun Friday afternoon. But thank you all for the support. I'll be back as soon as I possibly can, but have a good one. And remember, from me and Chair, best of luck in the markets.